Archangel Michael says, "Someone you once loved who is now in heaven has requested this message be delivered to you urgently. They ask that it come not in a loud voice or with thunder, but gently, like a whisper that stirs the heart and brings peace into the quiet corners of your soul." It is not just a message for your mind, but for the deepest parts of your being, the place where grief still lingers, where questions are still unanswered, and where love has never stopped flowing. Type 1212 if you know God is guiding your steps. In the stillness of heaven, where time no longer rushes and tears are no longer shed, this soul remembered you. Not just your name, or the sound of your voice, but the way you once smiled in moments of simple joy, the way you offered kindness even when your heart felt tired, the way your love, though imperfect, was always real. In the presence of God, their heart is now whole, healed, and overflowing with light, and yet they carry you still, not as a burden, but as someone deeply cherished, someone God Himself holds tenderly in His care. They saw the moments you sat in silence and wondered if your prayers ever reached heaven. They watched when your hands trembled under the weight of days you didn't know how to walk through. They heard your whispered goodbyes that were never fully said. And now, they ask me to tell you what they couldn't say when they were here: you are not forgotten, and you are not alone. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if you believe God's love never fails. God, who formed every star and placed it in the sky, who shaped every wave that touches the shore, is closer to you than the breath in your lungs. He has never once let you fall without catching every tear that came after. The sorrow you feel, He understands more deeply than any human heart can comprehend. And the love you've lost? He has held it safely, protecting it until the day all things are made new. In the quiet moments when your thoughts drift to memories that once brought comfort but now bring ache, He is there. In the darkness that sometimes wraps around you like a heavy fog, He is the light that will never go out. And when you feel like you cannot take another step, it is His strength that gently carries you forward, one heartbeat at a time. The one who sent this message from heaven does not want you to remain in grief, but to rise with hope, to walk not with the weight of the past but with the peace of knowing that nothing is lost in God. What feels like separation is not the end, it is a waiting, a gentle pause before a beautiful reunion. In Christ, death has been defeated, and love does not have an ending. Every bond formed in Him remains forever wrapped in eternal life. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. This message is not just a reminder of someone you loved, it is a calling back to the one who loved you first. Jesus Christ, who walked this earth with scarred hands and a heart wide open, knows what it means to grieve. He knows what it means to weep over those we love. But He also rose, so you could know that the story doesn't stop at sorrow. It goes on to joy, to restoration, to life more beautiful than anything we've ever imagined. Type 333 to welcome peace into your heart. You may not always feel His presence, but that doesn't mean He has left. You may not always understand why things happen the way they do, but that doesn't mean He has abandoned His plan. What He begins, He finishes. What He loves, He redeems. And what He promises, He always fulfills. So hold on, not just to memories, but to faith. Hold on not just to what was, but to what still will be. Your loved one in heaven is not gone forever. They are waiting, joyfully, in the presence of the Lord, where time has no hold, and love has no limit. And until that day comes when you meet again, they want you to live, not just survive, but truly live, with love, with courage, and with the deep, unshakable peace that only Jesus gives. You are still on your journey, and every step matters. Every act of kindness you offer, every tear you release, every moment you choose love over fear, it all reaches heaven. It all matters. And you are never walking alone. Heaven watches, God walks beside you, and your loved one, in glory, whispers with joy, "You are seen. You are loved. You are not forgotten." This is only the beginning of what they wished for you to know. Let it settle into your heart like a soft rain that falls after a long dry season. More is coming. More peace. More healing. More light. For now, take this message into the quiet of your soul, and let it remind you that even when the world feels heavy, heaven is still speaking, and Jesus is still holding you. The soul who once walked beside you, whose voice, laughter, and touch you remember in the quiet hours, still walks in the light of God's glory, full of life, overflowing with peace, and wrapped in a love that no shadow can reach. From that place of eternal rest, they have asked that this part of the message finds you when your heart is most open, when the ache feels a little too close, and when your spirit needs the warmth only heaven can give. You may wonder why this moment was chosen. Maybe your day felt ordinary, maybe your heart has been quietly breaking for a long time. But heaven does not operate by the ticking of clocks or the movement of calendars. It responds to the silent cries of hearts, to the weariness you've carried without words, to the sacred moments when your soul needs to be reminded that love never ends, and that God is still writing your story with kindness, not with cruelty. Stay until the very end, for heaven has been pressing to share this truth with you today. There were moments in your past when you laughed together, when love was simple, and joy felt as natural as breathing. And then there came the moment of goodbye, sometimes sudden, sometimes expected, but always too soon. Since that day, the world has kept turning, but part of your world has stayed paused, like a song interrupted mid-verse. The one who left this world did not leave your heart. And in the heart of God, there are no unfinished songs, only melodies waiting to be completed in eternity. Your loved one, now in heaven, sees you through a lens washed in divine light. They do not see your flaws or the times you feel you failed. They see the way you have held on to their memory, how you speak their name with love, how you keep trying even when you feel tired. And in every effort you make to move forward, they see courage. They do not wish for you to live in the past, but to carry their love forward with grace. They ask that you let the pain soften, not erase the memory, but make space for peace to grow around it. Type 444 if you believe in God's divine protection. God is not distant from your grief. He is not unmoved by your sorrow. Every tear that has fallen from your eyes has been seen by him, and every moment of emptiness has been met by his presence, even if you could not feel it. The Lord Jesus, who carried the weight of the cross out of love, now carries you in the same love, with patience, tenderness, and unwavering compassion. This life often feels like a mixture of beauty and brokenness, of joy and sorrow held in the same hands. But even in that tension, there is a purpose, and there is hope. You are not walking through this life forgotten or unseen. Heaven watches with love, and your story is not just a fleeting moment, it is a thread woven into God's eternal design. Sometimes, you may feel the presence of the one you lost, not in ways that can be touched, but in the hush of the evening breeze, in the softness of a familiar song, or in a memory that returns like a warm embrace. Those are not accidents. Those are grace-filled reminders. Your heart knows love that deep cannot disappear. And it hasn't. It has simply changed form, resting in the hands of the one who made it, shining through in every good thing that remains. Your journey is still unfolding. You still have moments ahead where laughter will rise again without guilt, where tears will fall more softly, and where love will continue to find new places to bloom. The person in heaven who sent this message wants you to know they are not asking you to forget them. They are asking you to live fully, to forgive yourself when you fall short, and to keep choosing hope even when it feels like a small flicker in a dark room. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. This is the one moment that can rewrite your future, but only if you claim it now, because hesitation will only keep you chained to the same struggles. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. This message is not meant to be a closing, but a beginning. A beginning of comfort, of restoration, of remembering what is true, that God's love for you has not changed, that you are still held, still loved, still called, and that nothing, not even death, can separate you from His presence. So let your heart rest. Breathe in the peace this moment brings. The story continues, and though it may not look like what you expected, it is still sacred. The love you've given, the memories you've cherished, the tears you've cried, they are not forgotten. They are part of a bigger picture, one that ends not in loss, but in reunion, not in sorrow, but in eternal joy. It is carried with the gentleness of a soul now resting in peace, whose memory still lives within you like a flame that never went out, no matter how the winds of sorrow tried to dim it. This is not just a message from someone who was dear to you, it is also a gift from God, who has watched you through seasons of silence, struggle, and quiet strength, and now reaches toward you with healing in His hands. There were days you thought you couldn't go on, days when the absence felt so heavy it seemed to press into your chest like a weight you couldn't name. There were nights when sleep came slowly and the memories came quickly, leaving you both grateful and aching all at once. Heaven has seen every one of those moments. And though they may have felt small in the vastness of time, they have never been small to God. Type 555 to receive blessings and miracles. The person who once stood beside you, laughed with you, cried with you, and loved you in ways only the two of you could understand, they have not disappeared. They have simply stepped into a different kind of life, one where all wounds are healed, and all pain has been replaced by everlasting peace. They are not far from your heart. In fact, they are closer now than they ever could have been on earth, because they are held within the love of God, and so are you. They have watched you learn how to live again. They have seen the way you keep going, even on days when everything feels different. And their heart, now whole and free in heaven, rejoices every time you choose love over fear, every time you open your heart again to kindness, every time you offer grace even when you're still healing yourself. You honor them not by holding back your tears, but by continuing to live with courage. There's something sacred in grief that the world often overlooks. The world rushes to move past it, to fix it, to distract from it, but heaven sees the beauty in it. God does not hurry your healing. He walks with you, slow and steady, never leaving your side, never rushing your heart to mend faster than it's ready. Jesus, who wept at loss and rejoiced at love, walks with you still, holding your sorrow like a precious offering, never shaming it, never brushing it away. This message is a reminder that your love did not end the day they left this world. Love that is rooted in Christ does not die. It may change, but it lives on, softly, quietly, sometimes in ways you least expect. The laughter you shared, the lessons you learned from them, the ways they shaped your heart, those are not gone. They are part of you now. They live in your kindness, in your compassion, in your strength. And every time you choose to love again, you are continuing the story that never truly ended. You may not have all the answers you've asked in the darkness. You may never fully understand why things happened the way they did. But this truth remains: God has never turned his face from you. He has stayed, through every question, every moment of anger, every quiet sigh. He has stayed, not because you have perfect faith, but because his love for you is perfect. The soul who asked this message to be sent wants you to know, they are not resting in sadness. They are at peace. They are surrounded by a love so radiant, so complete, that no shadow can reach them. And in that perfect peace, they remember you with joy. They want you to stop blaming yourself. They want you to breathe again, to smile without guilt, to laugh without feeling like you've left them behind. Because you haven't. Type 666 if you trust in God's grace and mercy. They walk with you, not in body, but in every good and beautiful thing you carry forward. And when your journey here is done, they will be waiting, not with tears, but with joy, ready to welcome you into a place where love never fades, and where no goodbyes are ever spoken again. Until that day, you are being held. By God, by grace, and by a love that never lets go. Let this message soothe your heart, soften the sharp edges of your grief, and remind you that you are deeply, eternally, and unshakably loved. There are moments in life when everything seems still on the outside, but within you, memories stir like a tide that never fully recedes. The birthdays, the anniversaries, the seasons that used to carry laughter and togetherness, they come and go, and with each one, a part of you silently wonders what it would be like if they were still here. In those moments, even when you don't speak a word, heaven hears you. God sees the way you carry their memory not as a weight, but as a treasure, tucked quietly beneath all you do. The one who now walks in eternal peace asked for this message because their love for you did not end with their final breath. It remains alive, purified by heaven, filled with joy that can't be put into words. They have been watching you from beyond time, not with sadness or regret, but with such tenderness, such proud amazement at your strength. They have seen how you kept going when you didn't know how. They have seen how you chose to love others, even while carrying your own pain. And in every one of those moments, you were never alone. God, who created every heartbeat and every tear, has walked with you through every sorrow. He does not stand far off, watching from a distance. He is the one who holds you together when you feel like you're falling apart. He is the one who gives you enough strength for one more day, one more step, one more breath. And through him, you are more deeply connected to your loved one than you might realize, because love in God never breaks, it becomes eternal. Sometimes you may feel a sudden peace for no reason. Sometimes you may dream of them, or hear a song that makes your heart stir, or notice something small that reminds you of a moment long ago. These are not random. These are gentle touches from a soul that still walks close in spirit. They are not sent to bring you pain, but to remind you that heaven remembers, and heaven celebrates every part of your love story. Your grief has changed you. That's nothing to be ashamed of. It's shaped your heart to become softer in some places, stronger in others. It has opened you to compassion for others who walk a similar path. It has taught you how deeply we can love, and how that love stretches far beyond this life. And in the quiet, where no one sees, God has been doing something sacred, turning your broken pieces into something beautiful, even if you can't see it yet. What if the missing piece to financial success wasn't luck, but a hidden frequency inside your brain waiting to be switched on? Once activated, this ancient signal unleashes waves of prosperity, opening doors to opportunities you never thought possible. From sudden windfalls to long-awaited breakthroughs, it's transforming lives daily. Want to see how? Click the link in the video description and comments below to tap into the money magnet brain wave and begin your journey today. Others are already awakening this hidden signal and watching their lives transform. Do not be the one left behind while abundance passes you by. The one who sent this message wants you to know that your tears have not gone unnoticed. They have been cradled by God Himself. There is no shame in missing them, in longing for one more conversation, one more hug, one more chance to say all that was left unsaid. But there is something holy in the way you've continued to live with courage, even when your heart felt hollow. They see that. God sees that. And all of heaven honors that. Let this message be a soft place for your heart to rest. You are not being asked to forget. You are being reminded that what was real will never fade, and what was good will never be lost. The memories you hold, the love you carry, the person you still whisper to in the quiet, they remain, not as shadows, but as light that lives in the eternal presence of Jesus. Type "I love God" to claim abundance through God's love. There is still more ahead for you, not just in the life to come, but here and now. You still have purpose. You still have a path that matters deeply to God. Your story is not finished. And every step you take in faith, no matter how small, is surrounded by heaven's love. They asked for this message not because they saw you forget, but because they saw how faithfully you remembered. They watched you on days when the world demanded strength, and you gave it, even while your heart was tired. They saw you celebrate others even when you were carrying quiet sorrow. They watched you lift others up, even when you wished someone would lift you. And it filled them with such deep love and peace to know that the love you shared with them did not stop when they left, it grew. Your loved one is not trapped in the past, nor are they distant in spirit. They are more alive now than ever before, no longer bound by pain, no longer shadowed by fear. They have seen the face of Jesus, and they know the truth that we only hold in pieces here, that nothing good is ever lost, and nothing given in love is ever forgotten. They know now what we can only believe, that every tear will be dried, every broken heart made whole, every longing fulfilled in the presence of God. They want you to feel that truth, not as something far away, but as something that can begin to heal your heart right here, right now. You don't need to wait for heaven to feel its touch. The same God who holds them now is holding you too, and He has never let go. Type Amen if you trust in God, and share this heart-touching video with 5 loved ones to open the doors of blessings and miracles. There may still be days when the absence feels sharp, when silence echoes louder than words. That is okay. God doesn't ask you to pretend. He doesn't rush your healing. He simply walks beside you, steady and kind, giving you space to grieve, space to breathe, and space to hope again. He knows how much you love them, and He honors that love as something sacred. Your life has not been forgotten in the vastness of eternity. Every prayer you whispered through tears, every time you held on to faith when doubt came close, every moment you chose to keep going, heaven saw it all. And the soul who sent this message from the other side of eternity wants you to know that your courage has mattered more than you realize. You may feel like you're just surviving some days, but to them, you are shining. You have not failed. You are not too late. You have not missed your purpose. God's plan for you is not behind you, it is unfolding right now, even in your waiting, even in your wondering. You are still being led by the same love that called your loved one home. The same hands that welcome them now carry you through the rest of your days. They want you to trust that, even when you can't see what's ahead. Type 999 if you trust Jesus with all your heart. Let yourself believe, even if just a little today, that you are not alone. The one you lost is not lost to God, and so they are never truly gone from you. Their love didn't vanish, it moved into eternity, where it shines with a brilliance untouched by time. And they are still for you. Still cheering for you. Still waiting with open arms for the day your journey here is done. But they don't want you to wait in sorrow. They want you to live. To love deeply, to forgive freely, to laugh without guilt, to dream again even if it feels hard. They want you to know it's okay to move forward. They are not behind you, they are ahead of you, and they will be waiting when the story brings you back together, in a place where joy never ends. Until then, may you feel the nearness of God in every quiet morning, in every whisper of peace, in every moment when your heart is still enough to hear heaven speak. You are not walking through this life alone, and the love that shaped you has not been taken, it has been transformed, made eternal, and it is with you always. You may think back on ordinary days, those simple hours where you shared laughter over something small, where you sat together in silence, or where nothing much happened at all, except that you were together. Those are the memories that rise without warning, the ones that settle into your heart with a kind of sweet ache. And in heaven, those moments are not forgotten. They are part of a greater story that continues even now, woven into eternity with threads that only God's love can tie together. This message was never meant to remind you of what you lost, it was meant to remind you of what still remains. The love you gave, even in your imperfection, was received fully. The words you wish you had said, they are understood now. The mistakes you regret, they are seen through grace. The soul who sent this message carries none of your sorrow, only the purest form of love for you, shining without judgment, without disappointment, without anything but thankfulness that they got to share even a part of life with you. And above all, they want you to know this: you are still loved, completely and eternally, by the one who made you and has walked with you through every dark valley and quiet triumph. Jesus, who came to this world not to condemn but to restore, sees every part of your journey and holds nothing against you. He sees your heart, the places that still tremble with grief, the parts of you that feel worn out, and the quiet faith you've tried to keep alive. And He calls you beloved. The love of God is not distant. It is not waiting for you to be better, or stronger, or healed before it wraps around you. It is already here, in this moment, reaching for you not because you earned it, but because you were always meant to be held by it. The one in heaven who sent this message knows that love more clearly now, and they want nothing more than for you to feel it too, not someday, but now. Type 1010 to affirm that God's timing is perfect. There is still beauty ahead for you. There are still days waiting to be filled with joy that doesn't feel forced. There are still people who need your kindness, your presence, your heart. The life you're living matters. Even when it feels small. Even when you wonder if you're doing enough. The simple act of waking up and trying again carries more weight in heaven than you could ever imagine. Your loved one sees all the ways you've kept them with you, not just in photos or keepsakes, but in the way you speak with tenderness, in the way you reach for others, in the way your heart has grown even through the hurt. They are proud of you. They are at peace. And they are not asking you to forget them, they're asking you to keep becoming the person you were always meant to be, knowing that love is what ties you together still. If your heart feels tired, let this message be a soft place to land. If your soul has been quiet for too long, let it begin to feel again. Heaven is not far, and neither are they. You may not see them, but they are closer than the air around you. And when you close your eyes in stillness, and let the noise of the world fade, you might feel it, that soft, quiet sense that you are not alone, not even for a moment. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brain wave and start attracting wealth right now. You have been guided to this message for a reason, and if you turn away, the chance may not return. This is your time to step in. God is still writing your story. And He's not finished. You are not walking through the rest of your days without purpose. You are not forgotten in the silence. You are deeply known, deeply loved, and still being gently led forward, one day at a time, by hands that do not let go. The message from heaven continues, and it will keep coming, not as thunder, but as a soft whisper that keeps reminding you of this: love never ends. It comes from someone who once shared your world and now walks in the presence of the Lord, who has seen the face of Christ and felt the kind of peace we can only imagine here. They have asked that you know something deeply important, something that has been on their heart since the moment they stepped into eternity. They carry no regret, no sorrow, no fear, only love, only light, and only the hope that you will begin to feel the same peace here, even before you get to where they now are. They know there are things you wish you had said. They know there were moments you wish had gone differently, words you would have chosen more carefully, time you would have spent more fully. But in heaven, there is no blame. There is only understanding. All the unspoken things have already been understood. All the moments that felt unfinished are now whole. What was left behind in pieces has been restored in God's hands, and they want you to be free from carrying the weight of what you could not change. You are still here, and that is not without meaning. Every breath you take, every choice you make to keep loving through the loss, every quiet act of kindness, these are seen in heaven. Not just by God, but by the soul who once held your hand, who now watches you with a love more complete than any words can express. They are not lost in the past. They are alive in the presence of Jesus, and their love is reaching for you through this message, hoping to lift the heaviness you've quietly carried for far too long. Type 1111 if you believe heaven is listening. Sometimes grief has a way of shaping how we see ourselves. You may look at your reflection and see someone changed, someone who smiles less often, someone who hesitates where once you moved freely, someone who feels older in ways that have nothing to do with time. But your loved one sees you through God's eyes now. And what they see is someone still so full of life, still capable of deep love, still carrying a light that has not gone out. God has walked with you through every part of this journey. In the days when you were surrounded by others, and in the nights when no one else could hear the way your heart broke, He was there. He is still there. And He has never once let you slip from His care. The love of Christ does not waver, and His mercy does not dry up. It is new every morning, and it meets you in your weakness, not to shame you, but to carry you. The one who sent this message from heaven wants you to remember how much you are still needed here. Your story is not finished, and it still has beauty to reveal. They are not asking you to forget the pain. They are asking you to trust that it can slowly be turned into something sacred. Not erased, but transformed. Not discarded, but healed. Because God does not waste sorrow. He gathers it, like rain into His hands, and from it, He brings life. You still have moments ahead that will surprise you with joy. You still have people to meet, hearts to touch, and memories to make. And all of that is not separate from the love you lost, it is the continuation of it. The person who loved you so deeply has not disappeared. Their place in your life may have changed, but their love has become part of everything you do. It lives in the way you speak, in the way you care, in the quiet strength you didn't know you had until you needed it most. Let yourself rest in that truth. Let your heart breathe again. You are allowed to miss them and still move forward. You are allowed to cry, and also to laugh again without guilt. You are allowed to grieve and still grow. God has made space for all of it in His love for you. You are not being asked to forget. You are being invited to live again, not in the shadow of what was lost, but in the light of what still remains. This message is not the end. It is only another step in the journey of healing, in the journey of remembering with peace instead of pain. And with every part of it, the love of God surrounds you, carries you, and promises you this: one day, there will be no more goodbyes. One day, every tear will be wiped away. And until that day comes, heaven walks beside you, and love, true, eternal love, never stops reaching for you. There were days when you felt like the world kept spinning, while your own world had been quietly torn in two. You moved through those days with strength you didn't recognize as strength, and even though you may not have said it aloud, there were times you wondered if anyone saw your quiet pain. Heaven did. And so did the one you lost. Even now, they see. They see the love you still carry, the way you speak of them with softness, the way their memory lives in your smallest gestures, your quiet prayers, your sudden tears. Type 1212 if you know God is guiding your steps. They do not want you to be ashamed of your grief, or feel like you must tuck it away where no one can see. Grief is not weakness. It is love enduring beyond its season. It is your soul remembering that someone mattered so deeply, their absence still echoes. God never asked you to rush through it. And your loved one never hoped for you to hide it. Instead, they long for you to find the kind of peace that allows the ache to rest, without erasing the love. If you feel alone in your loss, let this message remind you, you are not alone. The Spirit of God has not left your side, not even once. In your silence, He listens. In your sorrow, He stays. And in the moments you smile, even when your heart still hurts, He rejoices with you. There is no part of your journey that heaven does not understand. Every part of you has been seen and gently held by the hands of a Savior who knows suffering and who conquered it with love. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Imagine looking back tomorrow wishing you had acted today. Do not let regret replace the miracle that is calling you right now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. The soul who sent this message is not asking you to stay in the past. They are not asking you to stop feeling, nor to move on as if they never mattered. What they desire, deeply and purely, is for you to live in a way that honors the love you shared, not by clinging to what was, but by allowing that love to grow into something new. Every kind word you speak, every gentle act, every time you comfort someone else who is hurting, that is part of how their love continues through you. There are days ahead of you that hold beauty you haven't yet imagined. Not because you are forgetting what you've lost, but because God is not finished with your story. The chapters ahead are not less sacred. They are not lesser because they don't contain the one you miss. They are still holy, still filled with purpose, still drenched in grace. And when you step into those new moments, your loved one is not left behind. Their love walks with you. Their memory shines in the light of all you continue to become. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to heal quickly. You only need to be willing to let light in, little by little. And if there are days when you feel like all you can do is get through one moment at a time, that is enough. Heaven doesn't measure your worth by how fast you move through pain. God sees your heart, and He knows what it takes to keep going. Your loved one asked for this message to find you, not to stir sorrow, but to bring comfort. They want you to feel the truth of their peace, the beauty of their healing, the joy they now know fully and completely. And more than anything, they want that same peace for you. Not someday far off, but now. In small ways. In quiet moments. In sudden joy that surprises you. In the stillness where you realize you are not walking alone. Let this part of the message rest in you like a soft light at the end of a long day. Let it remind you that you are held, that you are seen, and that love, real, deep, holy love, has never left your side. You are not forgotten. You are still needed. You are still becoming. And most of all, you are still loved, fully and forever, both by the one who waits in heaven and the God who walks with you now. Type 1313 to affirm strength through the Lord. It is sent with tenderness from the one who once held a place by your side and now stands in the presence of the Lord, filled with light and peace beyond all understanding. They have seen the path you've walked since they left this world, and their heart is full, not of sorrow for what was lost, but of deep gratitude for all the love you've continued to carry. They have not forgotten the moments you shared, the laughter that echoed through rooms now still, the soft conversations in the dark, the way your heart always found room for them no matter how tired you felt. In heaven, nothing good is ever lost, and they remember you not as you are in your hardest moments, but as the one who loved them faithfully, who never stopped remembering, who kept their name alive not only in stories but in the way you still love others. Sometimes grief feels like an ocean you must learn to float in. Some days you find yourself standing strong, and other days, the waves pull you under. Your loved one sees this. They know how brave you've been. They know how often you've smiled for others when your heart was still aching. And they want you to know that there is no shame in how long it's taken to find your footing. God walks with you into every deep place, and He never lets you sink. They also want you to know that you have not failed them. Not once. In your questions, in your sadness, in your moments of doubt or anger or confusion, they see your heart, not your mistakes. They are not looking at the things left undone or unsaid. They are resting in the knowledge that your love was true, and that is all that matters now. And in God's mercy, all things are made whole again. Even now, God is gently writing beauty into your days, even if you don't yet see it. He is not expecting you to pretend the pain is gone. He is simply inviting you to let His love meet you right where you are, to open your hands slowly and allow the grief you've held so tightly to soften. Not to forget. Never to forget. But to let healing begin, like morning light easing into the cold. Your loved one wants you to begin believing that joy is still meant for you. They do not want you to carry guilt when your heart feels happiness again. They do not want their memory to become a reason to stop living. Instead, They want it to be the reason you live fully, with depth, with gentleness, with faith that even now, your best days are not behind you. They are ahead, and you are not walking toward them alone. Everything you've endured has shaped a quiet kind of strength in you. A strength that can only come from surviving what you thought you couldn't. That strength is not yours alone, it is God's, rising within you every time you've stood back up, every time you've chosen to hope again, every time you've given yourself permission to feel joy even while missing someone who meant the world to you. Type 1414 if you believe in divine protection. Let yourself rest in the truth that heaven is not as far as it feels. The one you love is not gone forever. They have simply gone ahead. And in God's great mercy, this is not the end of the story. There will come a day when every tear is dried, when every sorrow is answered, when reunion is no longer just a hope but a reality more beautiful than anything you've ever known. And until that day, you are not without their love. You are surrounded by it. You carry it. You walk with it into every tomorrow. Let this message settle gently into your heart, like a soft blanket placed over tired shoulders. You are still loved. You are still being led. And you are never walking through your grief unseen. Heaven has watched every step. God has stayed through every tear. And the one who once walked beside you now walks with Jesus, holding your memory with joy and waiting to greet you again, not in sadness, but in perfect peace. It comes from the one whose presence once filled your world with comfort, whose laughter you can still hear if you close your eyes, whose memory wraps around you unexpectedly, like a gentle hand on your shoulder in a quiet room. That love was real. That bond was sacred. And in the eyes of heaven, it still is. They have seen the way you've carried that love forward, even while learning to live without their physical presence. They have watched the small ways you honor them, the photos you've kept, the way you speak of them with a soft voice, the things you do that they once did, as if to keep them close. All of it matters. All of it is seen. And from the beauty of eternity, they are smiling, not because you've forgotten them, but because you haven't. They ask that this message be given to you not just to remind you of their love, but to help your heart rest. There is a tiredness that comes with holding on to grief too tightly, with wondering if joy will ever feel complete again, with asking silent questions in the dark that only God hears. They want you to know, you don't have to carry it all alone anymore. You've been strong long enough. Let this be the part where you let grace hold what you no longer need to carry. God has not been far. Even when the loneliness felt loud, even when the ache seemed endless, even when you whispered prayers that seemed to vanish into the night, He was there. Not watching from a distance, but staying near, listening, weeping with you, and pouring quiet strength into your soul when you felt like you had none left. The Lord never turns away from the broken-hearted. He moves closer. The one who loves you, now made whole in Christ, wants nothing more than for you to begin healing without guilt. They don't want your joy to come with sorrow's shadow trailing behind it. They don't want you to feel as though moving forward means moving away from them. The truth is, you never have. With every step forward, they have walked beside you, not in the way they once did, but in spirit, in love, in the gentle ways heaven allows love to linger. What if everything you've been chasing, wealth, freedom, success, could be drawn to you automatically, simply by unlocking a secret brain wave hidden inside you. Once classified by intelligence agencies, this discovery is now available to the public, and it's changing lives instantly. Picture yourself debt-free, stress-free, and thriving. The window is open, but not forever, and every second you wait is wealth slipping from your hands, so grasp it now. Click the link in video description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency and watch abundance flow into your life today. Type 1515 to receive peace in your soul today. You may not recognize how deeply you've grown, but heaven sees it clearly. You have learned to wake up and face mornings that once felt unbearable. You have found ways to give love even while holding pain. You have learned to speak gently, to carry kindness in your words, to sit with others in their sorrow. All of this has made you into someone whose life touches more than you know. You've become a shelter to others, a light in quiet places, and that is something God does through those who allow love to keep living, even through grief. They are proud of you. Not just for surviving, but for continuing to feel, to believe, to hope again when it would have been easier to close yourself off. And though the journey hasn't been easy, it has been holy. There is nothing wasted in your sorrow. God uses every tear, every memory, every piece of your journey to shape something beautiful within you, something that heaven honors. You are still here because you are still needed. Your life has a purpose that hasn't yet fully unfolded. There are people who need your love, your story, your strength. There are still mornings meant for you to wake up into with peace. There are still sunsets painted just for your eyes. There is still music, still laughter, still softness waiting to reach you in unexpected ways. These are not things you must chase, they are gifts God is already placing in your path, one day at a time. Let your heart soften. Let the light in. Let yourself be reminded that love does not vanish, it transforms. It stretches across time, across space, across the veil between this world and the next. And the one you miss so deeply is not missing from your life. They are still with you in the ways that matter most. So rest in this, just for now, you are loved. You are seen. You are being guided. And the story of your life, shaped by love, held by grace, and watched over by heaven, is far from over. There is still more beauty ahead. There is still more light to come. And the love you thought you lost is with you, every step of the way. The soul who sent this to you is not sending words from a place of sadness, but from a place of complete peace, asking only that you let that peace begin to grow in your heart too. They see the way life has changed since they left. The way certain places feel quieter now. The way time has moved forward, but your heart still carries their name. They have seen you step bravely into each new season, even when everything in you longed for what once was. They have seen you smile through moments that would have made them proud, and they've seen your tears when the world was still but your grief returned like a wave. They have seen it all, and they love you more deeply now than ever before. Type Amen if you surrender fully to God's will. You may not feel strong. You may not always feel like you're healing. But from heaven's side, your strength is radiant. You've learned to keep going when it was hard. You've chosen love again, even when your heart was still mending. You've been gentle with others even when you were hurting. And in every one of those moments, heaven has whispered over you, you are doing more than surviving, you are living a life that still matters deeply.